Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name's Carter. I'm joined by Nate. We're going to talk some Ducks hockey for you. But first, I know that I've seen it twice a week for the last few months, but I've just now clued in to like how off those pictures of us are already. Like how
Yeah.
I noticed it on me. Well, because I came first, I guess, in the video. But I was like, holy shit, my hair hasn't been that short in a long time. And then you showed up, and I don't know what it is about it, but like, there's
I have a
just
shorter beard than I do right now.
yeah, that's me. That's probably what it is. Yeah. Did you get new
I
glasses since that picture too?
Nope, this is the only pair of glasses I've ever had.
Okay, yeah, it's probably the beard then. But I was like,
Yeah.
man,
Which this
those
is
need
about
an
like
update.
this is about like a month and a half, 2 months of growth. So
Okay.
it's definitely longer than it normally is. And it's really bushy compared to how I normally like it. So the plan is haircuts and beard trims and that next week because I start my summer job. Woo! So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, updating the intro video is definitely on the TQR season 4 to-do list because
Yeah.
those are some old
It's
pictures.
yeah, we'll have to update it like every season. There's okay, and that's something actually with TV shows that bothers me sometimes when they don't update like the intros for some of the characters and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One show that I
Friends did a good job of that.
yeah, Friends did a good job of that. One show that I absolutely adore, you know, this is my favorite TV show of all time, is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They barely changed a thing throughout the I think 7 seasons of television that they did on that show.
Yeah.
I think like the last episode, it's besides like one character swap because what's the actress's name?
Gina, the girl who plays Gina. I don't remember.
Yeah,
her
the girl that
actual
plays
name,
Gina. But because she leaves the show, so they take her out of it and put
Hmm.
in the actors that play
Oh,
Scully.
this was your favorite show. You can't even
It
remember
is.
their names. Come on.
Mind you, though, it's been a while since I've watched it. I haven't gone back to watch it yet since the season finale or the series finale because that tore me apart. I was so upset for that show to be over. But yeah, besides that, I don't think they changed anything in that intro whatsoever. Like it's
No.
all from like the first 2 or 3 episodes, like the clips or whatever. So that was something that always bothered me. But like obviously, it's once it's on Netflix kind of thing, right? You're just skipping the intro anyway. But just kind of like watching it, I was like, it's still the same.
See,
why is it still the same?
See, that bothers me too. But then when they do change it, I'm like, they fucking changed the intro. Like what? And it just like throws me for a loop. Because I'm like, they took out this clip from like the first episode or whatever, and then they put in like some garbage clip from that I haven't even seen yet. Like, what's this? So either way, I'm not happy. But
there's no winning if you are a show that Carter watches. Let's just put it that way. You're never gonna win with him.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I'm always unhappy.
Well,
I see we got Marcus here in the chat.
Dude,
we got Ali.
come on.
I beat you too.
You're taking my producer job away from me here. This is my job.
Okay, you do the other one then. I left one for you.
Okay, and I'm grateful that you left this one for me because it warms my heart. Marcus chiming in. Golden Knights blew 2 games, and now we are out. Yes. Where's the airport card? Thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
I'm just a little slow today. Don't worry.
I'm pulling up the game right now. It is it's currently the end of the second period. Golden Knights and Blackhawks. It's tied 3-3. However, 4:46 left currently in the second period. The Dallas Stars are up 3-0 on the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, and if they blow this one, then they have another chance against us on like Thursday. So like
yes,
the Dallas Stars literally need 1 point out of Arizona and Anaheim, and that's got to be the easiest 1 point you can get. Like, I would be very surprised if they didn't get all 4.
I would be very surprised as well. And just for myself personally, because right before we were going on air, I was like, no, Montreal, please don't do this to me. The New York Rangers have tied it up, and there's 1:35 left.
Nice.
Please, New York. Come on, you can't lose to Montreal like this.
Ellie has something here. Oh yes, this is the one I wanted to bring up. Another shootout. Yeah, like we were talking
Yeah,
off
they
air
had the
just
back to backs.
beforehand, how defeated Logan Thompson looked after both shootouts, but especially after the second one, where like they basically knew that their playoff hopes were done.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's unfortunate that the season kind of got put onto the shoulders of Logan Thompson. But I mean,
Yeah,
Vegas, Robin Leonard, the way that they treat their goaltenders in general is a whole. We could dedicate an entire hour and a half really to that if we wanted to. We're not going to, as much as I want
today,
to.
not
Yeah,
today.
not today, not today. But man, Logan Thompson has been playing great this season, though. It's awesome to see. Former Brandon Wheat King, I'm pretty sure. I've heard Jeff Merrick say. And also kind of a local guy to us. He's from Calgary, which is only like an hour and a half north of us here. So
Hour and a half. Jesus, what are you doing? Like 160 in your little Civic there?
flying. Like I mean to like the outskirts of
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
city. I'm not talking like the middle of it kind of thing. So
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, it's like good on him. He's been having a great season. The future looks bright for him and that sort of thing. It's unfortunate that Robin Leonard's, going through like 2 different injuries right now that he's had to end his season for to go get done. Looked like it was a knee and a shoulder that he had to do. And yeah, so, but like I cheer for the players, but the organization of the Golden Knights, I'm like, nope, no, thank you, not anymore.
Yeah. Marcus sums it up well here, just saying Thompson better than Leonard. Do you think Leonard's done in Vegas? Because I feel like he strikes me as the type of guy where like he would like be wronged like once or twice, and it seems like this whole injury thing has like kind of got under his skin a little bit, and like I don't know. I just see him wanting to be like, just get me the fuck out of here. Like,
I don't think it's necessarily okay. I guess we're getting into it a little bit here with that kind of a question.
Yeah, sorry, but it's just out there. Because like in mind, he saw how they treated Fleury, like over the last couple of years, and then now I feel like he's kind of in the same position. So he's probably like, are they just gonna fire me off to fucking Arizona for a 7th round pick and like call it a day? Like,
oh my god, Arizona would love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Robin Leonard wouldn't though.
Yeah, Robin Leonard is okay. Actually, he does have some say. So Robin Leonard is currently making $5 million per year. He's on the 2nd year of a 5-year deal.
Oh shit! Did he sign that with Vegas?
He signed that with Vegas. Yeah, because he got traded from Chicago, remember? And then they signed him to that, and that's what caused the trading of Fleury, because they're like, oh, because I think Fleury's making 7.5. So like, oh, we're spending like what is that, like 12 or 13.5 million dollars on goaltending. And then Fleury goes and wins a Vezina, and they're going, yeah, we still got to just get rid of this guy. We got to get rid of this guy. Screw him. Or at least management is saying that, because apparently Bill Foley, just like a couple weeks before that, was telling Fleury and his wife, you are going to be a Golden Knight for the rest of your career. We are going to set you up in the like front office or just within the organization. After we will set you up for life here in Las Vegas after your career is done. A couple weeks later, dude finds out, or I guess his agent finds out on Twitter. Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't have Twitter himself, but finds out from his agent from Twitter, not even getting a phone call from the Vegas Golden Knights themselves, that he had been traded to Chicago for literally a nobody. So, I mean, that guy could still pull dangles around me, but it's an ECHLer, right? It was basically just a cap dump for the Vezina winning goaltender. Like, it's remove like my feelings just in general about it, because it's my all-time favorite goaltender that I grew up loving and everything like that. I have I will have every single one of like the teams that he's played for, NHL jerseys coming up here soon. I did order a Minnesota one. Like, remove my feelings on Fleury himself, right? That entire situation was just a shit show. Pretty much. And you're right. Now Leonard's kind of looking at this, where it sounds like from Emily Kaplan of ESPN that he had told like the Golden Knights, hey, especially after like that he had been hurt and everything like that. And I think it was like back-to-back games that Pete DeBoer just like shit on him in the media. And Robin Leonard, it sounds like it's just like, I don't need this. And especially because I'm hurt, you know this, I'm gonna go get this dealt with instead. And it sounds like the Vegas Golden Knights actually asked him to stay as the backup for Sunday for cap reasons. Seriously? Oh man. There's a specific tweet that I'm trying to find here from Andrew Troy, who's one of the co-hosts of Vegas Nightly, the Golden Knights podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network here. So I don't know if you want to talk something about this situation while I try to find this tweet.
Oh yeah. I was curious if Logan Thompson was signed into next season, and yeah, they extended him back in January. 3-year deal, $766,000 per year. So that's a sick deal for him. I was wondering if maybe they hadn't signed him and he was kind of playing himself into some more money and going to cause even more issues for the Golden Knights. But it looks like they were kind of ahead of the curve there and signed him to a pretty sweet deal. So Leonard's not going to be out for cap reasons. It's going to be if Leonard wants out.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not able to find the one that I'm thinking of here.
Did he Photoshop Leonard's face onto like the sword in the back picture that was drawn up for Fleury?
No, but somebody did that already. And I was
really?
Oh yeah, somebody made the letter one. There was a tweet though. Oh yeah, here. This was from 22 hours ago. So Andrew Troy, again, the co-host of the Vegas Nightly podcast, at CHOI_AJ. Really going to force a rookie goalie into 2 consecutive shootouts to decide the fate of this team's season. This team really hates treating all goalies nicely, apparently.
Yeah.
And then he does a correction, any and all goalies.
Mm-hmm. I saw another stat today too in those 2 shootouts is Logan Thompson stopped 8 out of 10 in between those 2 shootouts in total.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously only letting in like the ultimate game-winning shootout goal. And in those 2 shootouts, Vegas has no goals. Nobody on that team scored to help them out. So
yikes.
That's very tough. And like you look at the guys on that team, it's like Eichel, Pacioretty, Carlson, Stone, like just to name a few, right? Like how do they not have any goals? Like not a single one. So it's just got to be so defeating for Thompson. And then also it kind of makes me think like what's going on in Vegas that like the motivation is just so low for these guys. Like they should have dominated the Stars. They should have dominated all season. Like I know they had injuries, but
and I think that is kind of the thing, right? Is a bunch of injuries, but a lot of people are talking about, oh, they're trying to circumvent the cap. It's definitely a good combination of both, right? And and honestly, the people that are complaining about the cap circumvention and whatnot, it's been around for a while. Really, the issue came to the surface just because of Tampa doing it last year with $100 million roster.
And Kucherov bragging about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I believe it was Chicago even in 2015 that also did something similar. I don't think it was near to the same dollar amount over.
Yeah. I thought we decided it was 2010 or 2012. It was one of the first cups that came.
Right, it would be 2010 or 2013. But either way, this has been a thing for a very long time. And they're not going to change it just because of one team doing it, right? So now other teams are looking for just ways to play the field, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did find the tweet actually from Andrew that I was looking for here. And having a bit of an outside perspective to it, I do kind of agree here. Because I personally am a big fan of Robin Leonard. So Andrew says, honestly, I kind of hope Vegas trades Robin Leonard. Not because I dislike him. I love the guy. But because this fan base and apparently some of the organization are toxic, radioactive trash, and he does not deserve that negative treatment. He's got a point.
I agree with that 100%.
Right, like especially for a guy that has been very open and is looked up to for the way that he is trying to remove the stigma around mental health, right? As much as, like next month is mental health awareness month and everything like that too, right? And people are getting a lot better with it, right? We've come a very long way in the last few years, I would say. There's still a massive stigma around mental health.
Mhm.
So like I love Robin Leonard for being kind of the face of it unintentionally, maybe for the
Mhm.
NHL. It's great. But a guy who's so open about his mental health as well as his physical health, even
Yeah.
does not deserve to be traded like this. So
Yeah.
like he's fairly happy with the money that he finally like that he deserves. Right, teams underpaid him and I gave him small contracts for so long. Right, if like really if and that's where that stigma comes in. Right,
Yeah.
if teams weren't aware of that, this guy would have been signed to a long term deals a while ago,
Oh
right? The
yeah.
Islanders would have held on to him longer and everything like that too. Yeah, this is a guy that doesn't deserve that kind of treatment whatsoever. So, and he's got a
Mhm.
solid fan base, right? Like people cheer for teams, people also cheer for players themselves, right? And like we've both done that as well. I've been very open about like Fleury
Mhm.
appreciation and everything like that too, right? There's a lot of massive fans of Robin Leonard, and it spans across the NHL because the guy's been shuffled around because of his mental illness, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And yeah, if a team is going to treat him like this after saying, "Hey, we have confidence in you" and whatnot, then yeah, it's better to try to do something else. Just hopefully it stops after Leonard, right? It doesn't go on to Thompson and whoever else is coming down the
Yeah.
line, kind of deal. But it's rough, especially when it's a fan base that the fan base as well is really critical of Leonard because they feel he took the job from Fleury, right? Whereas like everybody should know though that it was given to him, right? Like even when Fleury was playing amazing and going for winning the Vezina, they were still trying to push Robin Leonard in there,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Because they
So
kind of knew that they couldn't keep both, so they wanted to see if Leonard could be their guy.
yeah, but even
Sort of.
when then like Fleury's playing great, it's no Leonard, no, they're just shoving Leonard down everyone's throat pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Just to give a little bit more, pro Vegas side here, or maybe not like pro Vegas, but from a Vegas
Mhm.
fan within Marcus here. He says that he wants DeBoer gone, Leonard gone, Dodonov gone, Carrier gone, and whoever their power play coach is, and then in capital letters, Kelly McCrimmon gone. And I
Mhm.
think that's kind of the big thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the big things there. I'm kind of wondering if it is a Pete DeBoer thing, right?
Could
Because
be. Yeah.
yes, before Pete DeBoer, like it was only what 2.5 years or something like that of Gerard Gallant, right? The first
I
coach
think
of the
so.
Vegas Golden Knights. And it was only 2.5 years, but a lot can happen in 2.5 years. We didn't really see this kind of stuff happening with Vegas,
Mhm.
right? It was once you had that changing the guard, George McPhee moving up to the president position and Kelly McCrimmon becoming the GM and bringing in Pete DeBoer, which again, Gerard Gallant, like the Vegas at the time of his firing, I'm pretty sure we're in the third place in the Pacific Division, like halfway through the year or something like that.
Yeah, they were
That's not
doing fine.
normally a
Yeah.
time when you're firing a coach,
No.
right? Like what once those two came in, it felt like everything kind of changed with the Golden Knights, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
they still had that they still like had that relentlessness to them, but it became it became toxic. It felt like just kind of
In a
like
way. Yeah.
thinking in hindsight, it's like, yeah, really everything kind of changed once those two came in.
Hmm.
So maybe that is it, right? Like Vegas had the identity very early on, and they've continued that of being, big, flashy. And I mean, it even goes to their jerseys next year. They are going to be moving to those to the gold alternates. They're going to become the
Hmm.
home jersey next year. Um, so I mean, that's just showing that the flash, right? Like they're literally having a gold jersey as their home one next year.
Hmm.
Um, but like this is like over the last while with those two in the positions that they are in McCrimmon and DeBoer, it's been different there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It has just felt a little different for
yeah,
sure.
And I remember even this was over a year ago. I had to go back and find this. So for a little bit of time, I was on another podcast as well, a Flames related podcast. And I think I can't remember how exactly it came up, but I did have a little bit of a talk quick about how I felt like, if Vegas kept going for the shiny new thing the year after year, right? Which I get it. If there's a good player available, go for them, right? The Anaheim Ducks are looking to do that this summer with the amount of cap space that they have, right? And there are going to be players available.
It's different though. Like that, we don't have anybody. And
when you're going
new flashy player, we want that new flashy player. Like we have the space and we need it. So
yeah, and I think the idea came up with Alex Pietrangelo is what it was. And it was, we can shiny, nice new Alex Pietrangelo. Nate Schmidt, you've been fantastic for the club on ice and off the ice. The fans love you. And like you've been great. See you the fuck later, because Pietrangelo, get your ass in here. Right. Like, and there was like just other moves up to that point, right? Of just, they're bringing the new flashy thing, and they've continued to do that. I had said on that show that eventually it's going to come bite Vegas in the ass, right? Where I think a lot of players are going to be like, yeah, I can go get paid there, but unless they give me a no trade, I'm gone within a couple seasons, right? Yeah. There's no stability here for me. And I remember the time getting blasted for that thought, right? Like people were like, no, there's no way. Like Vegas is a destination place. Like everybody wants to go there. It's like, yeah, but if you're looking for stability, right? And sure enough, now everybody from, the smaller networks and shows, right, such as us and the rest of THPN, that kind of thing, all the way up to guys like Jeff Merrick and whatnot, are realizing this, right?
Look at you hipster, getting on the train before it was cool.
I was just ahead of the curve, I guess. But like everybody's just kind of realizing this now, and eventually it's really going to be the players as well. And Vegas is not going to be that destination anymore, right? Because there's no stability, right? It's going to be, okay, I'm going to sign a 2-year lease on a rental place instead of trying to look for a place to buy and stay in, right? Because I'm going to be gone in the 2 years anyway. So,
yeah. Well, we have excuse me. I feel bad because I lied to everybody off the top. I was like, welcome to the Quack Report, where we're going to talk about the Ducks, and then for the last 20 minutes,
and we're not going to go too deep into the Vegas Golden Knights. And then just that one question was like, okay, no, now we have to dive into it. But that's totally fine, though. It gives me a place to vent and everything like that, of course. But
yeah, and it's not even like we have a terrible game that we just don't want to talk about and want to avoid. Like this is actually a good game that we want to talk about. So
just the drama of the fucking Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into that, though, in 2 words or less, how are you doing, Nate?
Can I give you 3?
Well, you've already hit 5, so fuck the rules, I guess.
Stressed, but good.
Nice.
So we're in the final week of the final full week of class, and I have so much due still this week that I'm just trying to get it all done pretty much. So
yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, so I mean, you were even helping me with an assignment that I spent 6 hours on one section of it yesterday, and I'm like, oh god. So, but it's university, right? Yeah. I know I'm here for a reason and everything like that, right? Or I knew this was coming, kind of thing, right?
It's what you signed up for.
Yeah, there. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for. It's what I signed up for, and I know it, especially after being a career student at this point. But I was just like, man, I just have to get through this week and get everything done, and then I can breathe for a bit until I have the 2 finals on the same day next week.
Yeah.
So, but I'm guessing you're kind of in the same boat too.
Exactly the same boat. Yeah. Yeah.
But we're just trying here.
Yeah. Except I'm done at the end of the week. So, or not the end of the week, but in a week I'm done forever. Or as long as I want to be anyways.
Oh yeah. I'm still in this for a bit.
Yeah.
I know. I did it to myself.
I see we got Lauren in the chat here, dropping a quack in.
Hey, what's up?
Okay. Last question. Allie wants to know, when do you graduate?
It's supposed to be the end of the year next year is when I'm supposed to, as long as everything stays on track right now. So I'd love to be done I know I signed up for this, like literally signed up for this, but
Yeah.
I am kind of getting sick of school, I'm not gonna lie. So
Which is fair.
like
All right.
I'm actually excited to go into my summer job. So because it is actually kind of what I want to do
Mhm.
like after I'm done school. So it's kind
Yeah.
of dipping my foot into that now. So
Yeah,
very
it's
excited
perfect.
about that. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, let's finally, after the
Finally.
world's longest intro, let's get into this Ducks game here. So Ducks 5, Sharks 2 in the second last game of the season here. Um, I mean, really a nothing game. Two teams drastically out of a playoff spot. At this point, it didn't really matter who won, but it is always nice to beat the Sharks. Um, really, I think probably the big story out of this one is Zegras' 60th point
Yeah.
of the season. That's
Yeah, I guess there's a few stories, but that's one that I definitely took a look at. Yeah, Zegras scoring 60 points on the season, which you think about it for a rookie and the people that he's, especially over this like last couple of months, the type of players that he's played with, that's a massive accomplishment.
mhm.
60 points as a rookie, like in his
Yeah.
first full season, that's awesome.
Yeah. I pulled up the rookie scoring for this season. He's second in rookie scoring in the league, second only to Michael Bunting, who has 63 points. Bunting's also played 5 more games than him, 79. Zegras has played 74. Was he injured at some point in the season? Because it seems weird to me that Zegras hasn't. Like, I thought he was healthy all season.
At this, if I'm remembering correctly, at the start of the season, Dallas Eakins was kind of doing the same thing as he did last year of like, oh yeah, okay, play again. No, okay, now we're gonna sit you for a bit. Play
Right.
again. Now we're
Okay.
gonna sit you for a bit.
Gotcha.
So,
So he was like healthy scratched.
Yeah, pretty much. So, which I've said it before, Dallas Eakins into next year still terrifies me.
At least he's gotten away from like the start and stop with Trevor Zegras, right?
Yeah, now it's hey, if Derek Grant is healthy, we're gonna strap him to you.
Oh, right. Ali brought this up here that he had COVID for that bit in
Right.
December.
Yes.
So he was one of those guys
Right.
that got scratched, but they didn't postpone our games. So yeah, you're right. Thanks.
That's
Thanks
correct.
for that.
That's correct.
So yeah, I mean, like, just purely looking at points, like I think that kind of says like, oh, Trevor Zegras should win the Calder this year because he's like Raymond and Sider have cooled off a little bit. No one else is really even close. Michael Bunting is the only guy ahead of him, but he's got 5 years on him. So, and like they're
Zegras is
kind of
producing
right there, right?
better at a point at like in points per game.
Yeah, that
Like
too.
his average, he's
Yeah.
producing way better. So,
Yeah. So
like I still feel it should be. You have to throw in 3 guys there, obviously, right? So Bunting's
Mhm.
gonna be included because he's been producing.
yeah,
And he has been
And-
impactful
yeah.
for that Toronto Maple Leafs team.
He's been huge.
However,
yeah.
though, I think it should really come down, and like I'm even trying to remove bias here. It should come down to Zegras and Sider. Because what Sider is doing actually at his age as a defenseman as well, right? Like we've been very fortunate with Jamie Drysdale, right? But Detroit got something just even a little bit more. And that's not a slight on Drysdale. That's just Sider's that good.
Ali, do you hear that? Now Nate is the hater of Drysdale on this podcast.
No, I'm not hating on Drysdale. Drysdale is awesome. I'm just saying that there's just like Sider's just another level for a rookie defenseman, right? Which like that's just hard to do in itself. But then to come in at the age that both these guys did, right? Like it's really impressive what Sider's been able to do. Like to have the offensive production on top of actually, like he's not a defensive liability as a young guy, right? Like he's playing like a seasoned veteran for the most part, which is incredible in itself. So, like it's complicated to kind of go like, oh, a forward versus a defenseman for like when they're doing 2 completely different things, right?
Yeah.
But still equally impactful and major components of their teams. So
for sure. Sider does have a year up on Jamie Drysdale. He's 21, whereas Drysdale's only 20.
okay.
So like
still the young defenseman.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I'm just saying like if Drysdale was say down in the minors this year and we brought him up next year for his like 21-year-old season, I wouldn't be surprised if he put up very, very similar numbers to what
Similar
Seider's
numbers,
doing
yeah.
this season. So, not saying obviously that Drysdale doesn't deserve to be up this season because he's been hugely impactful for the Ducks.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do agree. Zegras and Seider are kind of the two names that I think should win it. Bunting should definitely be in there. Like he's given what this guy was projected
Yeah.
to do, he's blown it out of the water.
Oh yeah, he's deserved
So-
to be in the top, like in the finalists. I don't think
Yeah.
he should win it though,
Yeah,
personally.
I'm in a Discord with a fantasy league, and it's about 50% Leafs fans and 50% fans of other teams. So I hear a lot about Michael Bunting, and yeah, like this, like the dude plays up and down the lineup. Like it doesn't matter if he's
Mhm.
playing with Oh my gosh, slow down. It doesn't matter if he's playing with Austin Matthews or like, I don't know, whoever their fourth line center is. I don't care enough to know, but like he still produces no matter where he's put in.
Spezza,
So
I think.
maybe, yeah. Because I think you're right.
Now I
think
want to
he has
double
played
check
with
this.
Spezza. So obviously, I want Zegras to win, and I think Zegras deserves to win it. But all three of those guys are deserving. It's not like some like previous years where I'm like, if this guy doesn't win it, this looks so bad on the league.
Mhm.
Like the Cale Makar year. Like yes, Quinn Hughes was good, but like he wasn't Cale Makar, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So Spezza is on that fourth line projected by Daily Faceoff. However, he's on the right side. It's Colin Blackwell in the center for the fourth
okay.
line there, with
Okay.
David Kampf and then John Tavares and Austin Matthews.
Gotcha.
That's what they have projected, at least. So
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I kind of knew this was going to turn into a Calder discussion again, but like either way,
we're getting to that point though, right? These
Yeah,
awards
yeah,
are going to be
exactly.
announced pretty soon here. So
yeah, and it is going to be those three. Like there's no other options.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
and it worked out great actually, because I wanted to bring up this tweet that I had put out. Is it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, yesterday. So it just works out that we're talking about Toronto when we talked about Vegas. So I put out a tweet, actually, just a poll asking who is actually more hated as a team organization in the NHL. And the options were Vegas or Toronto.
Mhm.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be honest with you. 446 votes total. Results were 53-47. Do you want to take a guess who?
I'm gonna go with Vegas.
Was Toronto.
Oh, really?
With
Okay.
53%.
I thought maybe the recency bias would have played
Yeah.
in a little bit there,
but it was very, very close. So much closer than I thought it was going to be. Where it was there was a tweet here in the replies from at not that Kristen, who says, congrats to Vegas. It took the Maple Leafs decades.
Allie has a question here. Do you think Bunting would still produce if he wasn't with Austin Matthews and Marner?
I mean, it wouldn't be to the same level.
No.
But I think the guy could still produce. He would still be a key piece of,
he'd be an impactful player
of
for
the
sure.
Maple Leafs this season, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I've picked him up in a couple fantasy leagues, like here and there, just like as a waiver pickup to cover injuries.
Yeah.
And he obviously produces more with Matthews and Marner. Like you put me
I feel like anybody
on the
would.
ice with them, like I'm gonna probably score 50 points in a season if I play the whole season with them.
You got a chance. So
like his numbers would probably be significantly less, but he is still able to produce without those guys, just obviously to a lesser extent. That being said, though, I think the impressive part about Zegras is he is the guy that is generating these chances.
Yeah.
With Michael Bunting, not that I've watched a ton of Leafs games, but I don't think he's the guy driving that line. Whereas whatever line Zegras is on, he is the guy driving that line.
Yeah, 100%, which actually kind of leads into one of my other points here. We keep talking, or I guess at least I do, and a lot of other people, wanting that TMZ line back together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terry, Milano, and Zegras. I got a fun stat here for you.
Hit me.
In the game against San Jose last night, the TMZ line only played a total of 26 seconds.
Okay.
The entire game.
So it was an accident when they went on the ice together.
But that line got a goal.
Perfect.
That connection got a goal. In
26
26 seconds of ice time, that connection got a goal.
So let's do some quick math here.
And we're not doing it. Why?
This
isn't a consistent line. Why?
Yeah. So 26 divided by
Dallas
60,
Eakins refuses to put together a decent lineup. Like, not even like the players individually, just the actual configuration. Why? I get it. It's the end of the season. We want to tank, but I at least want to see a decent team try. It's kind of hard when you're handicapped, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the equivalent of, okay, we're going to go play this game. We're going to play as hard as we can, but we're going to tie a hand behind our back just to make it worse for the sake of it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if the idea is to tank, okay, fine, whatever. But if I see any other crap like and this isn't to bag on these guys individually, again, it's configuration is my issue. If I see anything along the lines of Grant, Zegras, Aston Reese next season, the camera will be gone because this entire desk will get flipped. And there is a lot of heavy, expensive shit on this desk. I do not want to see it next season.
No.
I will shut up about 100%. It for the rest of the season. I mean, there's only one game left anyway. But I do not want to see that next year at all. And nor does any other Ducks fan.
Nobody does. Absolutely zero. Like, there's one person on this planet who wants to see that, and his name is Dallas Eakins.
Like, it makes no sense. Okay, I want to harp on one more thing.
Oh wait,
but it stems from a positive as well.
I want to go with what I want to carry on with your stat here. Okay. If I did the math right, because I've been doing a lot of math recently, so my brain's kind of fried. But 1 goal in 26 seconds. If you spread that out for goals for per 60 minutes, that's 138 goals in 60 minutes. And so like average ice time is what, 20 minutes for a top line? So let's divide that by 3. That's 46 goals a fucking game at that pace.
I mean, obviously it's inflated, right?
But is it?
But it's we've seen the line do well in the very short spurts that they get. Right? You notice right away when those three are together on the ice.
Is it because everybody on the opposition, their pants turn brown?
Yeah, exactly. No, sorry, that's it. Yeah. That's exactly it. Right? Like, you straight up look at the three of them and you're like, okay, yeah, they're all very good players individually. You look at the three of them together and you go, I really do not want to be on the other end of the highlight package tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you want, right? None of those guys are massive hulking guys, right? But the fact that they could make you look like a Timbit out there, an absolute pylon, a total pigeon, right? That is intimidating.
Yeah.
Why would you not utilize that? I've tried to find a reason besides, okay, they're just going for the tank. They're trying to go for the best pick possible at this point. Yeah. I've tried to find any other reason besides that, and I can't think of it besides insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
There's no other reason to have done it, and there definitely wasn't any reason to do it as long as he did it.
Yeah.
So I want to throw out one more. I want to throw out one more positive here and then kind of question something. All right.
Okay.
So Anthony Stolarz had a great game last night as well, I thought.
For sure.
Yeah, guy had 31 saves on 33 shots, a 939 save percentage in the full 60 minutes. And I believe he was, I got to pull up the number here, actually. He was at least a goal above expected, or goal save above expected for sure. I'll find the exact number here. Where did that go? 1.04 goal save above expected. So there's one that should have gone in that he saved, right? Mm-hmm. And then I took a look at him for the season as well. Both like his advanced and and his traditional stats here. So his traditional stats for this season: 27 games played, a 12, 8, and 3 record. So a winning record on a team that is sitting bottom 10 in the league
Mhm.
as a backup with nearly 30 games played.
Sorry, what did you say? A 12, 8, and what record?
12, 8, and 3 in 27 games played.
Okay.
A 2.62 goals against and a 919 save percentage with 3 shutouts.
Yeah, the 3 shutouts is what impresses me the most.
And for the season as well, his goal save above expected is negative 0.3. So he's right where he should
right where,
be
yeah.
for chances and everything like that, right? He's played solid this year.
Yeah, and I think probably the only reason that stat is so low, not like low, but like is at the average, is he had like a couple like pretty bad games. Or not like bad games,
I
but
don't even
like
know if
high
it was,
sdon't games, you know?
and those weren't even on him from what I remember. It was
No,
the
they
team
weren't.
in front of him.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. So you take out a couple of those outliers, and he probably has like, I don't know, +3, +4. I
Yeah.
don't know what it would be. I'm just kind of guessing.
Yeah, exactly. So why would this guy not play just a little bit more in general?
Yeah.
Right? I get John Gibson's got the bigger contract and everything like that, right? He's
And he's capable of being the starter, like
Yeah.
the number one goalie, not just a 1A. John Gibson is a number
Yeah.
one goalie.
For sure. But especially when we saw him struggling, right? Why are you not playing Stolarz a little bit more? Just in general.
Yeah.
He's a solid goalie.
Mhm.
He's a great option.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
I've said this for a long time that, and then before I've kind of always said like Anthony Stolarz should be traded to a team that is going to use him as a 1B goalie, because that's what he is. That's
Yeah.
what that's his potential. That's what he deserves.
I think he can
And then
hold
we
that.
need, what's that?
Yeah, he could hold half a season to himself. The
Yeah,
Ducks
exactly.
are very fortunate that we still have him next year for just under $1 million.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If he was going into a contract year this year, we have a lot of space,
Mhm.
but that number might go up to a 2, right? Which is still a
Yeah.
good number,
Mhm.
but that's an over 100% increase on what he's making currently.
Yeah.
And it would be well deserved.
Yeah, for sure. But hear me out for a second.
Okay.
I think there's not many, but there's a few teams around the league that would pay out the ass for a 1B goaltender, especially at $1 million and potentially for $2 million as an extension, right? There, Edmonton, Toronto. Well, no, maybe not Arizona. Potentially Vegas, depending on what happens with Leonard.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's probably a few more I'm missing, but just off the Montreal potentially. Yeah, there's probably a few more, but and I think we could get a good haul in return. And then all we have to do is find a backup goaltender, not like your 1B goaltender, a backup who is good for 10 games, and that's about it.
Yeah.
The other option now, after this season, I think, is keeping Stolarz, trading John Gibson, as we've talked about before, as your starting goaltender, because there's teams also that could maybe use the starting goaltender. And then we acquire a 1A goaltender, which would be cheaper than Gibson's, what is it? I think 6.4-ish million.
I'll double check it.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It would be cheaper. And then we can actually use Stolarz to the best of his ability.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are correct. 6.4 there.
Okay. Actually, Ali says Dostal. Yeah, it would be great to see if Dostal can hold that,
Yeah.
second spot. It might be a little too early for him, but we might need to bring in someone like now. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We might need to bring in someone for the year to kind of cover that spot, but eventually we need to get Dostal in.
I'm not entirely sure that it's maybe too early for him. Would it be nice to have him one more year in the AHL? Yeah,
No,
sure.
sorry, I don't mean one more year in the AHL. I mean, it's too early to be like, oh, You're our starting goaltender. Have fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about like a Dostal Stolarz tandem if we were
Yeah.
to get rid of John Gibson, which that idea has unfortunately picked up some traction.
Yeah.
I've been
It's not my
noticing.
favorite, but
In terms of Stolarz though being part of a tandem though, I don't think that would be too early. I'd like him to have one more year in the A, but the guy did play in the Finnish Liga, which is the top league in Finland.
it's good. Yeah.
It's filled with
yeah.
adults, right? And he played there for 2 seasons before coming to North America. He's a young goalie, but he's had a lot of time compared to other goalies his age, at least from North America, that like he's had a lot more time playing against grown men, right?
Mhm.
Which I think is a massive factor.
Absolutely.
I think we talked about it. What was it, 2 episodes ago? Because we had that question of like which goalie has more potential, right?
Mhm.
That's the thing with me and like for European goalies, a lot of these guys will play for a bit in the top leagues that like of their country, right? And Finland, Sweden, especially like the Liga and the SHL are not leagues to really laugh at by any means. There's some
Yeah.
quality hockey coming out of there. And then you give him, he got games last year as well in San Diego. He got a lot of games this year in San Diego. Guy's running a 915.
Mhm.
He's deserved the chance to come up.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. I honestly think the ideal situation, because I don't think Dostal is ready for. Well, he doesn't have the sample size to be a 1A or a 1B goaltender in the NHL. I don't think he needs to play in the AHL anymore, but I think giving him half the starts in the NHL is a little bit too much. And I mean, this team has very low expectations for next year too. So, I mean, give him 30, 40 games, see what he can do. And
currently it has low expectations. I want to see what happens with free agency and everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing too. I think in my ideal scenario is, and what would be a good offseason for me is if the Ducks kept Gibson, they shipped Stolarz off for a decent package that gives them some sort of benefit, like immediate benefit from, say, Toronto, because I think he could do well there. And then that opens up the spot for Dostal to be the backup next year. Give him 20 to 30 games. And I think that, and maybe he'll play himself into earning more. Doubtful with Eakins behind the bench, but he'll at least get the second half of back-to-backs. And when John Gibson inevitably has his slow down or, tweaks something and is out for a week, like Dostal will have those games. That's my ideal situation. And then hopefully we can send Stolarz to a team that's maybe strapped for cap and get a decent player that can help this team out now in return. That's kind of my ideal scenario. Like I love Stolarz and I don't want him to go anywhere, but he's impeding Lucas Dostal's progress at this point.
Sorry, say that last part again. Who's impeding?
Stolarz. Well, somebody. One of our goalies is preventing Dostal from playing in the NHL. Whether you want to say it's Gibson or Stolarz, but one of them needs to go for Dostal to come up.
Yeah. I see what you're talking about. And I mean, it's not a bad problem to run into, right? Like examples I think of are the longest time Henrik Lundqvist with the New York Rangers. You're never taking that starting role. The mid to late 2000s of Mika Kiprusoff, and Calgary kind of mismanaged that. They didn't really. It seemed like they never really envisioned a future without Mika Kiprusoff, so that's why it took until Jacob Markstrom for them to be like, okay, this is our guy. Right? Everybody seemed like a potential guy, and it never really worked out. I'm trying to think of some other places. Even for the longest time, it felt like Marc-Andre Fleury in Pittsburgh, right? Until he started to falter off a little bit, and Matt Murray came in, which makes sense. Like just a few examples there. So, and okay, actually, even a little bit more of a local one, Jonas Hiller, right? Still playing great and everything like that, but you got 2 guys banging at the door, Freddie Anderson and John Gibson, right? And then even then it was, okay, we have to decide between one of these guys because the NHL wasn't quite at the tandem yet.
Yeah.
Right. As being a normal thing.
both of those guys were starting goalie potential too. So
Yeah.
like,
But could you imagine a tandem? Like if tandems were a bit more common at the time, a tandem of Anderson and Gibson, and be able to keep that
yeah, that'd be
for
insane.
at least 5 years or more.
Yeah.
Do you imagine that? That'd be
Yeah,
insane.
it's absolutely insane. So, yeah, I think we kind of got off track with the
We did
Stellaris talk
a
there,
little
but
bit, but it's
but you're
not
right. He did have a phenomenal
Yeah.
season and a phenomenal game as
Yeah.
well. So, I'm just looking at the time here. I know that we have more to talk about in this game, but we don't have a ton afterwards. So I think let's take our quick break
I think
now,
we hit
and then
most
we'll.
of the main points, unless
Yeah.
there's anything more specific you want to talk about.
I do want to touch on some of these other points you
Okay.
have in here because they were ones that I was going to put in. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll take our break first, and then on the other side we'll wrap up and I'll attempt to wrap up this game before midnight tonight.
Sounds good.
Hockey fans, feel the action on the ice like never before with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. Right now, new customers can bet just $1 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still hit the ice for cold hard cash. New customers can make their first deposit and play free for thousands with DraftKings daily fantasy hockey contests. Draft your lineup of 8 skaters and a goalie, rack up points for goals, assists, saves, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. And best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, bet just $1 on any NHL team to win, and get $150 in free bets if they do. Again, that's promo code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NHL. Must be 21 or older. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
So I had some comments I wanted to bring up here as well, just quickly before we
Okay.
continue
Can I
on
bring
with
up
this game.
one very quickly before
Oh,
you
sure.
go into those ones? Because yes, those
Yep.
ones are a bit more imperative, but I just want to at least acknowledge this one here.
Yep.
From Allie, just asking if I keep up with the Stockton Heat, which is Calgary's affiliate. She says their goalie Werner is huge. Adam Werner, if you remember him from Colorado for the little bit there.
Oh, okay.
And his pads make him I had to laugh at this. His pads make him look like the mayor of Flavortown. What she's referring to here are these beautiful like flame goalie pads that he has here that seem to remind her of the one and only Guy Fieri.
Nice. Yeah, those are. Yeah, you're right. Those are very reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to appreciate that for a little bit there, but yeah. So I will always talk goalie style, 100%.
Oh yeah. You could have your own podcast just about.
I
that,
really
think.
could. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So a couple questions I wanted to get to here that just weren't directly related to the game, but now's a good time to bring them up.
Yeah.
Lauren asks, will we be doing a season recap? Yes. So our Sunday episode,
Yes.
well, the one that we record Sundays that comes out Monday, that'll be a season recap. So not just for the Ducks, but for kind of the league as a whole, because we did division predictions as well.
See how wrong we were.
Yeah.
I haven't looked
know, I
at
think
these in
it's-
months, so I'm not actually sure.
I
know
know
that,
that we
like,
did
there's
not
a-
bad.
yeah.
So
There's a couple teams where I'm like, okay, we got to, like, from what I can remember, we got to close, but there's others where, like, I know we both had the Islanders finishing like second or first. And we're
yeah,
like,
that's tough. I also distinctly remember putting Philly pretty high and Buffalo a little bit higher than they probably should have been.
Yeah, mind you, though, Buffalo did at least make big steps moving forward.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
If they continue in the path that they did this year, they'll be contending in a couple of years here, I think.
They should be. Yeah.
So-
I mean, they've kind of been saying that every year for the last 10 years.
But this actually looks promising.
Yeah, it looks
Like
and feels
from an
different.
from
for sure.
an outside perspective, this is very different from what we've seen over the last fucking 10 years.
Yeah. so yes, Lauren, we the next episode will be a big one 'cause we'll talk the Dallas Stars game. We'll review the whole season for the Ducks. We'll review kind of the whole league just in general and our predictions, and then we'll also give a playoff preview because that'll probably start Monday or Tuesday next week.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so I guess I lied earlier. It's not going to be the last time that I talk about Dallas Eakins and his lineup ideas, because if we're talking about the Duck season as a whole, obviously that's a major component of it.
that's a pretty big thing. Yeah,
That's a pretty big thing.
And then Ali asks here if that is a TQR jersey behind me. Yes, that is a TQR jersey.
Are you able to pull it down, or do I got to show off my shorts here? Because I can grab mine.
No, I could probably get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, we'll show it out to the people here. So yeah, we got these made for us here just a little bit ago, maybe about a month and a half or something like that. Month and a half ago, Carter, we got these done, or I guess they got sent to us
about that.
2
Yeah.
months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're done by a buddy of mine from I do work with aesthetics as well, Dallas Kirkpatrick. He has his own company, Kirkpatrick Designs, and Maplewood Hockey is what did these jerseys up here. So, and yeah, we got them all custom up with our name
Maplewood
and
right up there.
Yeah, with our names on the back and number 19 for the podcast starting in 2019 there.
Yeah.
And
This is
the
shoulders
logos and
arms as best as I can show it here. So
logos and the entire jersey and everything like that was designed by me. So I think there's only one little tweak that that Dallas had suggested. I think it was just something with the collar we had changed. But other than that, that was done by me. I'm very proud of it myself. So I love those jerseys, and mine's just on around this corner is the door that goes out to the rest of my house. So that jersey's hanging up there. So so every time I leave a show or that, I get to see that beautiful jersey. So
yeah, we don't have them for sale. Those are the only two ones in existence. We hope maybe one day to try and get a run out for people, but
it is an idea. So I mean, if you're interested, throw it in the comments so that we know if you're interested in one, and we'll try to do something. With that, because we have heard like we did put out a little feeler like when we first got them of like, hey, would anybody be interested in one of these? And we did actually get quite a few responses, which I was very happy about. So
yeah, but in the meantime, we have a merch store that doesn't have these jerseys, but they do have some pretty sick stuff that Nate did all the designs for. Links down at the bottom there if you're watching. If you're just listening, it is tqrshop.myspreadshop.com, where you can get all the merch there. .ca if you're in Canada. But again, that's tqrshop.myspreadshop.com or .ca if you're in Canada there.
And for those that are watching live as well, it's just sending out right now, but I threw it in the chats as well. So
cool. So yeah, there was a couple other things about this game here. The big one that I wanted to touch on that you had as well was Max Comtois getting his 5th goal of the season in this one. Goals in back-to-back games for him, 15 points now on the season. Obviously, he was dealing with injuries for a bit and had a pretty rough start to the season as well, potentially playing through a bit of an injury. But yeah, I think he's really picked it up lately, and that's good to see. And obviously, the season's almost done, but I just really hope that he can carry it into next season.
Yeah, I mean, like I know he wasn't playing great earlier on, but it really doesn't help your confidence as well when the coach is just like, yeah, I'm going to sit you for extended periods at a time.
Yeah, it makes it tough to get into it too, not even just for confidence.
And I mean, like this guy's only at this point now is a year removed from being the top scorer on this team, right?
Yeah,
like, he's only gotten under half of the amount of points. Yeah, 5 goals, 15 points on the season. This year, where I believe last year, without looking, he had 33. I have that stat up here somewhere.
That sounds right. Yeah, it was in the 30s anyways.
What did he have last year? Oh my, I have the game logs open. That's why. Last year, 33 points. He had 16 goals and 17 assists. So, and that was in 55 games. This year he's played 51. And remember, last year was only, how many games did we play last year for a season? 56?
56.
Yeah, so he only missed 1 game. This year he got sat for a good chunk of the season. So, but which is really unfortunate. I mean, Yeah. So
Yeah, between injuries and being a healthy scratch. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot. But yeah, that's it's good to see him getting kind of back into things a little bit. Like
Yeah.
if the
I
Ducks
hope he
were,
has a comeback. I hope he has a comeback year next year in
oh,
Dallas. He
me
just
too.
doesn't
Yeah.
just sit him as soon as he's like not playing great.
Yeah, I think next season will be different because he'll be going in presumably fully healthy at the same time as everybody else as well. So everyone will kind of be in the same boat. He'll
Yeah.
probably, prove himself throughout training camp and then kind of earn that or earn a top spot back.
Mhm.
So
I can't remember if we were talking about it or if I read it somewhere or something like that, but it sounds like he also came to camp not in the bet or like in the shape that he was hoping for or that and the team
yeah,
was hoping for. So
Mhm.
that kind of set him back already. So
yeah, exactly. So
but
he'll probably learn from that, and
yeah,
I expect big things from Comtois next season as well.
yeah, I'm excited for him. So
Yeah, should be real good. Um, Yeah, I think. Oh, the other one I wanted to bring up that you had here was the Vacken and Drysdale combo on defense there.
yeah, that was just a stat that I came across and I was like, really? Okay. So yeah, the Vacanine and Drysdale defense combo is a chance machine, is what I have here in the notes. That game against San Jose last night, they had 12 shot attempts, 7 of them actually being on net. So that the two of them combined for 7 shots on net.
Mhm.
And only one of them was blocked, which leaves, if my math is correct, 4 that missed the net. But like shots on net from the point, especially in a game when looking at the the shot map for this game, the Ducks didn't have a whole lot from the point. San Jose was really good at shutting that down, it seemed like.
Mhm.
That's pretty damn good just coming from those two guys, right?
For sure.
Like but here, I'll pull it up so like it'll kind of help. Not just because I love pulling up the shot map, but it does actually kind of help in this case. But they were allowed to just kind of come down closer to the net there, so they didn't have to take those point shots.
Mhm.
There's not a whole lot going on out here, right? Everything
Yeah.
else is very low relatively.
Mhm.
So, which is not a bad thing. So,
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, if they're gonna let you walk into that spot, like
go for it.
do it. Yeah, why
Absolutely.
not?
So,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I hope to see a little more from those two next season as well. I think they make a pretty decent pairing. I mean, obviously, ideally, you could maybe spread them out a little bit, but I think obviously they work well together.
Mhm.
Like I just mean like pair them um, with veterans or something like that because they're both fairly young. But if it works, it works. So
yeah, exactly.
like we'll see if maybe against a better team than the Sharks. We'll see. We can see next season how that combo does, but
Mhm.
looks promising for now.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So, okay. Anything else you wanted to add? I think that was kind of all I wanted to hit on for this game.
Yeah, I think that's. Yo, what? Sorry, I'm seeing a comment. There, no. The Coyotes and the Stars are tied currently.
Jeez.
It's 3-3 now, and Montreal won in overtime. Yep, my mind. Okay. All right, that's fine. I really just used my luck up in that one night, I think.
Yeah.
And one night I made $40 and then I haven't hit on anything really since. Or no, sorry, I think I hit on one. I've hit on one bet in the last 3 days since. Remember to gamble
Yikes.
responsibly, everybody. I'm still using bet credits.
Okay. Well, shall we get into some news here?
Yeah, let's
Got
do it.
a few points to
We actually got
talk
some
about,
news.
yeah, which is great. So Ducks recalled Hunter Drew, Buddy Robinson, and Trevor Carrick from San Diego. I guess to get him in for a couple games. Gulls have already clinched a playoff spot, so might as well give him a shot up here. Yeah, Hunter Drew, I thought looked pretty good against the Sharks. He had a fight against somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, that was his NHL debut.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, no points for him, but he does get a fight under his belt. So yeah, welcome to the NHL there. Had 14 shifts, 923 of ice time, which is Yeah, that's pretty good for your first game there. So coming up to the NHL from the AHL, of course. He's actually currently sitting fourth for San Diego Gulls scoring. It's I guess I'm kind of getting a little bit into the Gulls update, but I'll give like a full breakdown here in a bit. Hunter Drew is in fourth place currently in Gulls scoring in 64 games down in San Diego. He's got 17 goals and 21 assists. Who else are we talking about here? Buddy Robinson, who this season in the NHL has played 31 games, has a goal and 6 points on the season as well. And his AHL numbers, I'm switching between a bunch of tabs here. His AHL stats, 28 games, 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points. And then Trevor Carrick, which is Sam Carrick's brother, who we'll also get to later. Where is Trevor? Trevor, come here, buddy. Trevor Carrick has played in 61 games this year, and as a defenseman, has 10 goals and 20 assists for 30 points in San Diego this year. And for the NHL, he hasn't played an NHL game actually since the 2019-2020 season when he was a member of the San Jose Sharks. And that was the season that he played the most games in one season at 3. He didn't put up any points. He has yet to register an NHL point, but he already has 12 penalty minutes under his belt and 5 shots. So
nice. Allie just said here that she believes they just moved Trevor Carrick down. Yeah, just on a quick Google search, it looks like just recently. This news article was from an hour ago. Yeah, they sent him back down.
Okay, so yeah, we were recording already.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we have one game left at this point. It's just to kind of fill a couple spots, I think, and give a couple guys a last shot against Dallas there. So
yeah, exactly.
But it's transactions and news nonetheless. So
exactly. So we're going to talk about it.
Yep.
You brought up Sam Carrick earlier when you were talking about his brother there.
Yeah.
The Ducks extended him to by 2 years for $850,000 per year. So yeah, that's decent numbers, I think. I mean, Sam Carrick is one of those guys that can fill in relatively quickly and do a decent enough job on the fourth line to cover for injuries. So I'm 100% fine with that. That is, zero issue for me. So
no, yeah, and especially for a guy that's he's got 19 points currently in 64 games played, $850K. I'll take that. That works.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I mean that is also a season high, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, definitely a season high for games played and points. His next best season high was the very start of his career in 2014-15 with the Toronto Maple Leafs, playing in 16 games and getting 2 points. This season he played in 64 games, which is a big jump even from last year where he only played 13. And yeah, scoring 11 goals and 19 points on the season. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. This last one, I've kind of heard rumblings about it, but I think you probably know a little bit more.
Sorry, one more thing here. Carrick's shooting at a 13.8%. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. When I was looking at the rookie numbers, that's just slightly higher than what Zegras is shooting at. He's at a 13.1. So
yeah,
solid.
I like that. So and
put them on a line together and rack up the goals.
Yeah, and 49.4% on the faceoff dot as well. So
nice. Yeah, as I was saying, you probably know a little bit more about this than I do, so I'll let you take the reins on this last piece here.
Yeah, so this is just it's not news exactly. It's just there's rumors are starting to build right now of
which in Ducks land is news.
Yeah,
news
about the uniform that the Ducks wear, the jerseys and all that kind of stuff. So John Hoven of NHL on Sirius XM, and he's also on Kings of the Podcast, had put out a tweet yesterday, I believe, that said, quote, "In Anaheim, expecting more orange to be part of the Ducks jersey offerings next season." And I've kind of seen a little bit of this pick up over the last couple of days.
Yeah. Allie's calling us out here. She knew we were going to talk jerseys.
Yeah.
We always do.
Yeah, so it sounds like the idea would be that the orange alternate with the Mighty Duck cresting is potentially going to become the home jersey. And a lot of people are thinking, okay, well, if it'll kind of be like the jerseys I guess we have now, right? Where the black one started as an alternate to the word mark, and then there was a white version that was made of it as it got brought into as the home jersey. A lot of people are thinking this could be the case for this year, and this is something that I've been wanting at least for a while, because we know unfortunately that they'll never return to the eggplant and jade as long as the Samuelis are owners. It's kind of what I've been told and whatnot by some people who have a deeper connection than I do, but this is at least a start in the right direction, hopefully, of what a lot of fans have been asking for a long time. Every time we watch a Ducks broadcast, which I've watched at least 65 or 70 of the 82 or 81 games so far this season, I'm always taking a look around in the arena of how many, like, just kind of an idea of Mighty Duck branding to the like duck, just like the web foot branding. Most of the time the web duck foot is severely outnumbered compared to the Mighty Duck, whether it's the orange jersey, whether it's the 25th anniversary, whether it's the OG, right? And there, I think we even talked quickly that we noticed that the Samuelis during the pre and post game stuff for Ryan Getzlaf in that last home game there were wearing those orange Mighty Duck jerseys.
Yeah. That's usually a pretty good hint about, what's going on behind the scenes.
Because the Anaheim Ducks branding has been their baby, and that was one of the main things that they wanted to do, was remove themselves from the Disney image as soon as they bought the team. Yeah, back in the mid 2000s there. I have the note here that I believe it's just unintentional salt in the wound from the Samuelis, knowing that fans want this, and hey, we're gonna wear these jerseys, but we're not gonna do shit about it, like, to make it more for everybody. Besides give you very fortunately a lot of options in the merch stores and whatnot. But it's kind of like what I was talking about with the Islanders and their reverse retro, how fans wanted the fisherman for the New York Islanders. They gave just a navy version of their jersey now, and the next day put out fisherman merchandise, and everyone was like, really? Come on. I still feel it's kind of like that. So until I get more clarification on this, I'll still believe that it's just salt in the wound, right? Or just like teasing us pretty much. But it would be nice if they are listening, right? And I forget who I saw who would put this out. Someone put out a good idea of, okay, yeah, now would maybe actually be the time to transition to that jersey and that look, right? Because you had like Korea was the face of like Paul Korea was the face of like the original Mighty Ducks look. And then the word mark was Temu's, and the web duck foot was Getzlaf's, right? And now you go into the era of Drysdale, Terry, Zegras with this look.
Yeah,
I like the idea of that. I think it's kind of cool.
Too. Yeah, I think so.
And so, of course, ideas have been going around of, my list just flickered. If they go this route and there's a white version made, what could this look like? And I had actually done up an idea of this over a year ago now. So I'm just going to pull it up for anybody who is watching here. I had to go back and find this because I'm like, I know I posted it somewhere. So yeah, this is the idea that I had. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit more on it. That's better. Yeah. So the orange one here is just, it's what it is now. And then here's my idea, at least, of a white version of it. There was one comment that I had about it, just saying like, I feel like there needs to be a bit more orange in there. My design brain, like, I did try more orange, especially in the sleeves, but it looked too much, actually. So hence why there's less of it, but it's still a nice accent throughout. It's brought into the logo. It is different and whatnot, but this is my idea at least. And it could really work. It could really work.
Yeah.
Even
I
if it
think
is
so.
like a little bit more orange added in some way, that sort of thing, this look could really work. And it's at least a happy medium of we're removing ourselves from the web duck foot that looked dated, honestly, within like a couple years, I think. Whether it be the word mark or just the duck foot by itself. And but the Samuel still get to keep their idea of the the Orange County and everything like that, right? Which I love the idea of. The only thing I would change if they're going this route as well, get rid of the copper. I think I've talked about this before. Get rid of the copper and go with that silver gray instead. I'm just not a crazy fan of that color specifically. With the orange, it clashes to me. But
it's too reminiscent of the Vegas Golden Knights, and
at this point,
fuck them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, just to tie it together as well, I was kind of following it while you were doing the jersey stuff, and Ali said it as well. But Vegas is out.
Woo!
They lost in the shootout to Chicago, which I can't wait to see how many. Actually, I want to know how many saves.
Vegas is hated when people are actually cheering for the Blackhawks this season.
Yeah. Oh
God. That's how much people hate you now, Vegas.
Yeah.
They will actively cheer for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Once again.
One game.
Literally once again. Logan Thompson was perfect until the 7th round of the shootout when he let in a goal from Tyler Johnson, and nobody on Vegas scored. Once again.
Oh my God.
3 consecutive games.
That's
insane.
Does it say who the shooters were? I want to know this
for Vegas.
Who are the shooters? And I'll pull up. Yeah. Okay, you pull up for this game if it's there. Tell me if it's there.
It is.
Okay, and I will pull up the game against Dallas here. I want to see what this looks like.
So just for Vegas, it was Stone, Eichel, Theodore, Stevenson, Pacioretty, Marchessault, and then Amadio in the 7th round.
Okay, so they changed it up a little bit then, because in Dallas it was Eichel, Theodore, Waugh, Stevenson, Marchessault, Dodonov, and Carlson. So, man, those are flickering. Sorry, I'm distracted by the LEDs here. They're flickering on and off.
And then against San Jose, that one was only 3 rounds, but it was Waugh, Eichel, and Theodore again.
Interesting.
Yep, Eichel cursed. Absolutely.
Honestly, I kind of feel bad for the guy that he's like, yes, I'm gonna make the playoffs, and Vegas went no.
Yeah.
You gotta wait one more year for that.
The Dallas Arizona game also went to a shootout, so they got their point anyways.
Yeah. Man, I love that.
Yeah, they're extra. Holy shit. Coyotes came back and won that game 4-3.
Okay, so my bet's screwed no matter what. Man, I'm really going to hit at least 2 out of the 3 wrong, right? I'm going to get those 2 wrong. I only did a 3-game parlay tonight.
Okay, let's take a quick break here. On the other side, we've got upcoming game, Gulls update, and brief what's quacking. At least I hope it's brief, because otherwise this is a
it's brief. It's brief.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll take a quick break. On the other side, we'll hit those 3 things, and then that'll do it. But first, which one are we on? This one.
He's my brother Mike.
He's my brother Matt.
And we are the Brothers of Discussion, hosting Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas about your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home.
We are here to be your audible Earl Grey, to bring joy, placidity, and perspective to one of the roughest eras in Red Wing history. Check us out every Monday and Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
And check us out live every Wednesday and Sunday for Red Wings reactions and live conversations with you on our YouTube channel, The Brothers of Discussion.
I
All
never
right.
noticed that part before. Your audible Earl Grey. I like
Yeah,
that
he just kind of
description.
passes over it.
I like that
That's a good way
description,
to
actually.
describe
That's
it.
very
Yeah,
nice. That's
it's
a very
nice.
nice description.
Yeah. The one upcoming game we have is the final game of the season for the Anaheim Ducks, Friday against the Dallas Stars, 5:30 Pacific time. It's a road game. Yeah, that's about it. Dallas obviously now clinching a playoff spot, so
Mhm.
kind of a meaningless game. Well, actually, no, I don't think it. No, it wouldn't be meaningless because
No, it could
they
potentially
could
because
decide who they play matchup wise. Yeah.
yeah, Nashville and Dallas are still fighting for who they get to play between Calgary and Colorado. I don't even know who you'd
Yikes.
want to play actually in that. I have no
I-
idea who you'd prefer to play.
Neither are good options, but Daryl Sutter said it best: playing Colorado is a waste of time.
It's a waste of 8 days.
Yeah.
I loved that.
It's a perfect line, but
It
yeah,
really
like
is.
no, I'm not trying to take anything away from Calgary here, even though I usually am, but Calgary is definitely the lesser of two evils when it comes down to those two.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not even gonna deny that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Colorado is a beast. Like they had the Western Conference locked up like a week and a half ago. I straight up saw that
Yeah.
they clinched the conference. I'm like, sorry, what now? Like I knew you guys were doing good, but like what?
Yeah.
Like they're just that ahead of everybody. Like the standings, I mean, I guess games are getting played, so it's gonna change a little bit here. But like that team is in second place in the league with 118 points. The next team in the Western Conference is the Calgary Flames with 110. They've played the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Like 6-4-0 in their last 10. Shootouts, they're 4-1. Yeah, whoever plays them, they're screwed because of home ice advantage alone. This season at home, they are 32-5-3.
Yeah, it's insane.
And on the road, they're still good, don't get me wrong. 24-13-3. I feel like the Calgary Flames, though, and again, I'm not trying to be biased. You know that I can separate myself from this.
Mhm.
The Calgary Flames, I feel like you're screwed either way, though, because their home record is 25-9-7. Their away record is 25-11-3.
So yeah, like it doesn't even matter if it's home or away.
Yeah, the Flames have 20 regulation losses on the season. That's it. The Colorado Avalanche have 18. That's terrifying.
So
no matter
obviously
what.
anything can happen in the playoffs, right? Like,
oh yeah, playoffs are
yeah.
a brand new season. Nothing that you've played the last 6-7 months. None of that matters anymore.
Yeah, so
none of that matters.
Dallas, I was going to say easily, but not easily. Dallas could, overcome Colorado or Calgary, and and go far. Like we see it pretty much every year. There's a team that just squeaks in kind of within the last couple weeks, and then they just like go on a run to the conference finals.
Now, okay, I was having this conversation earlier. Actually, I don't think Dallas is the team to do it this year.
No,
Dallas is getting bounced in the first round. 100%. Nashville would be the team out of either of those two to potentially make some noise. I don't think it's Dallas this year, though. And Sarcastic Reminders is going to hate that, and I apologize. But just I look at that lineup and how they've been playing over the last little while. Like until tonight, they were fighting for a playoff spot potentially with the injured Vegas Golden Knights, right? Who are losing, like who don't have a lot of guys in their lineup right now. It's not really where you want to be. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And if Vancouver had brought in a guy like Bruce Boudreau a week earlier, they could have been the team that was sitting in that last wild card spot. Honestly, I think so.
Oh yeah, potentially. Yeah,
that's
sure.
like a week change around and like a week earlier for the Vancouver Canucks could have saved like the entire season and sent them to the postseason, which is mind blowing to me. But
yeah. So. That's I mean, there's not really much to say matchup wise for this game between Anaheim and Dallas, but that's the position the Stars are in. So they're going to come out guns blazing, and yeah, that's That's about it.
That's about it.
Okay, you've got a Gulls update for us here.
Yeah, I do. So, as we've already said before, the San Diego Gulls are going to be heading to the Calder Cup playoffs, and it looks like they're going to be playing the Ontario Reign in the first round, the LA Kings affiliate there. They have 2 games left this season until the playoffs start, and both of those are against the Tucson Roadrunners. Those games are on Thursday and Friday, back-to-backs in Tucson there. Before playing the Ontario Reign in the first round there. So and then we'll take a look at some stats, which I kind of got into a little bit earlier, but Lucas Yelevans, who we brought in earlier this season, has put up 42 points this year in 61 games, leads the Gulls in scoring. Alex Limoges is right behind him with 39 points in 60 games. Nicholas Brouillard has 39 as well. Hunter Drew's in 4th spot with 38, and Jacob Perreault with 37 on the season for points. Your top goal scorer currently is Alex Limoges with 22 points, or 22 goals, on the season. And your assists leader is Lucas Yelevans with 31 of his 42 points being assists.
Dang.
So, really liking those numbers actually. And I had to go back to listen to a little bit of our discussion with Shane as well when Yelevans got brought into the Anaheim fold. And fun fact, actually, he's about to live like 2 blocks away from me now. So
Nice.
So I'll be hanging out with him quite a bit, and or hopefully at least with the Flames playoff run here. But and then we'll go into some goalie stats as well. Oh, they only have Lucas Dostal showing up right now for some reason. Oh, anyway, we'll talk about Dostal though. 39 games played this season, has a 2.63 goals against, a 915 save percentage, 2 shutouts on the year, and 18-14-3 record.
Decent.
Yeah,
Very decent.
very good. I like that.
Ali just has a couple comments here. Our resident AHL knowledge person,
Yes.
that all of the games in the first round are going to be in Ontario. The team with the higher points gets to be the host, even though for game 2, the Gulls are technically designated as the home team. So
Gotcha.
just probably reduces on travel a bit. I think it's
Yeah.
a 5-game series in the first round. Is that right?
I think so. I'm trying to get more into the AHL like specifics and everything like that. I think it's 5 games, but I'm not 100% sure. That one might actually have to be a question for Ali if she knows.
Yeah,
that.
It was a question to you, and if you didn't know, it was more of a question to Ali. But, what was I going to say? Oh yes, I also wanted to shout out a new commenter here. Sorry if I butcher your name, but Jaheem. Just haven't seen your name before. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Quack. Much love. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you around more. Ali says 3 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
that explains the travel. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember that
why
from
San Diego
last
would have
season as
game
well.
2.
So
Yeah. And why San Diego would
Yeah.
have game 2 as the home team. That makes sense.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it does. She says she has season seats to the Gulls now. That's awesome.
nice. If you get a discount, let me know because I want a Gulls jersey at some point. I took a look and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. And it's like, it's a decent price, but I can't do it right now with shipping is the issue.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Shipping is crazy for just stuff coming from the States usually. Did I tell you what it was like the shipping from the Anaheim team store to Canada?
Yeah, because every so often you like go and look on there for hats,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a hat," and then you are like, "Oh, you're like,
oh,
do you want something too? We can split shipping." And then like we go on and look, and it's like we each get $20 like clearance sale hats, and the shipping's like $40. And we're like, "Fuck." No.
I think shipping was like 50 American or something like that, which is
50
like
now?
or something like that, or it's just like 60 here, or it
Insane.
was 50 Canadian. That's like 40 something American. But I was just like, come on, man. Like, and I wasn't the only one complaining about it actually, because believe it or not, man, those lights keep flickering. I'm sorry, I'm noticing.
No, it's okay. I just noticed it for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
but yeah, there's like a few other like Canadian Ducks fans that like were commenting that. I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one who's like, what the fuck is this here?
Yeah.
So, but
She says she does get a discount, so you guys will have to work something out to
yeah, might have to
get you a jersey. But, okay, well, let's get to what's quacking here. I'm excited to see what the fun with the jumbotron is all about because I know nothing
Sounds
about this
good.
one. So.
So this was from last night, actually, Anaheim versus San Jose. And this was on the Jumbotron here in the first intermission. So it sounds like how this came about was with certain tickets or that you could write a message that would get put on the Jumbotron here.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'm just trying. Oh, here we go. Let's try to get up with the share stuff here. So so this is from Reddit user B Harms 27.
Or is it BH arms, like big heckin' arms?
Maybe it is.
I don't know.
Get swole in the gym, you know. But I'll zoom in on it here just so we can see it a bit more clear. So Carter, I want you to read this for everybody.
Okay. Fans unite, celebrate, keep the hockey energy kicking. Now imbibe generous. Imbibe? I'm going to go with imbibe.
I'm not sure.
Now imbibe generously. Honor the Sharks.
I'm seeing what that word means.
I don't
drink.
know.
It means drink.
Now drink
Alcohol.
generously. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a pronunciation?
Imbibe.
Imbibe. Okay.
Imbibe. Yeah.
I think that's what I said the first time. But then
Yeah, I think that is too. I wasn't sure on the pronunciation. I had to listen to it quick. So, okay. That's a great message, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the Sharks' last games as well. I think it might have been their last home game, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Anyway, doesn't matter. Now I want you to pick out the first letters or the first letter of each word. I want you to spell this out for us.
Okay. Fuck, obviously. Whenever it's that, there's always that. THEKNIGHTS. Ah, nice.
This fan took the opportunity that he had to put any message on the San Jose Jumbotron, and he chose to write "Fans unite, celebrate, keep the hockey energy kicking. Now imbibe generously, honor the Sharks." The secret message: "Fuck the Knights."
Yeah, I was like,
I love it.
I was like, there's some really weird words in here. Like, there's got to be some more to it. Props to whoever figured this out because that's very creative. Like, I would have just read that and been like, that's a weird way of talking. I don't know. Maybe it's like a line from like a game or like some sort of meme, and then they just like inserted the Sharks and hockey in there.
I'm double checking, but I'm pretty sure that this was actually the person who put this up. I'm just trying to find the original post here.
Oh yeah.
But I believe this was actually like the person who posted this was the person who did it, I think. I'm just double checking here.
It just would have been awesome if they wrote it like where each word was on a new line and then like just aligned it all to the left so that like when you read it straight up and down, it said that.
Okay, no, sorry. I think I saw somewhere though that somebody was taking claim for it. I don't remember who, or I don't remember seeing like where it was, but this is amazing that they took the time to do this.
Yeah.
As well as use their one chance for, again, anything to get put on the Jumbotron.
Mm-hmm.
And their entire thing was just to say, fuck the Knights.
Yeah.
and as Ali says here, SJ fan, you mad lad.
Yeah, I love that.
The Sharks and Knights rivalry has actually been so fun to watch from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's been so good.
Yeah, I can't wait until both of these teams are really good. And another playoff series between these two is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Because that last one was awesome. And then since then, it's just been like the hate machine has just been spinning around. But like
literally a couple nights ago, San Jose went, yeah, our season's been done for a while, but we could help end Vegas's.
And they did.
And that was the same with Chicago tonight too, right? Like you're going into that
Yeah.
game because I believe a Vegas win over Chicago is what eliminated Chicago officially mathematically. Chicago had the return chance to do it to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like they are hated, and that's why I put out that poll of like, okay, who's actually the most hated organization right now? Vegas is very close, I think. And I mean, like, I know that like 450 or whatever it was is a very small portion of hockey fans considering, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it gives you a pretty good idea, I think, because it was getting around, like, league wise.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, this has been a very Vegas hate centered podcast, which I mean,
fair.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. So where can they send all of the Vegas hate mail to that is not the Vegas front office?
That's not the Vegas front office. I mean, you can send it to Pete DeBoer. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can, but if you want to spread some Vegas hate, which I will absolutely take some part in, you can send it to me on Twitter at Tatenamas, TateNhomas.
Yeah, same thing on my side. You can send that all the way over here. I will love it. At Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. At Quack Report Pod on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch is where you can find us throughout the week. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday.